In today's video, we're going to talk about why sewing machine needles bend and break, and we're going to solve the problem. Hi, I'm Belinda. Welcome to the channel. I'd like to ask a favor. We're trying to build a community and I would really need your help. If you could go to my channel and subscribe, it would really be helpful. So now, let's get started. Why do sewing machine needles break? As sewers, we accept that sewing machine needles are going to break, but not just for no good reason. They're going to break when we don't change them and use them for days and days and weeks, but we accept that as sewers. You and I accept that. In this video, I'm going to show you why you're breaking them for no good reason. Now, when a needle breaks, it breaks into many little bits and pieces, and they go all over the place. And one of the places is under the needle plate. So further on in the video, I'm going to show you how to remove that needle plate and get rid of those bits. So the first reason is your fabric is too thick for the needle that you have chosen. And we're quite bad about that. We just keep sewing and don't always choose a needle that we need for our fabric. So for instance, this is a jersey needle. I wouldn't use it on a cotton fabric, but you would use it on something like polar fleece. And then a size 80 or 80/12 or 90/12, which is a bit thicker, would be great for that. But you could not sew something like this long term with a 60 or a 70 because the needle can't cope. It will just break. So you'll have problems. So the first thing you need to do is choose the correct needle for your fabric. You can buy assorted needles. So here you see you've got a size 90 all the way down to a size 70. And this needle, the 90, is useful for this type of fabric, heavier type of fabric. So here we'd be sewing maybe 4 layers, 3 layers, but generally at least 4 layers, because you're going to do shoulder seams and put ribbing on and stuff like that. So you're going to have 3 to 4 layers, so you would need thicker needles. So that's your first reason why needles will break. Reason number 2, when you start sewing and you either grab the thread at the back and pull it out, or pull your fabric or push your fabric, when the needle's in the fabric, what's happening is you are bending the needle. So it bends, and when it comes back down again, that thread's tight. So when it comes back in, it's going to hit something. The needle plate and damage that, your foot and damage that, or worse, really hit it hard and throw your machine timing out. So don't pull your fabric. If the fabric's not feeding, make the stitch longer. Have a look, something might be trapped. Use that little black button at the back of your foot, because that's what it's for sewing over thick fabric. And I've done a video on that little black button on the A foot. So have a look at that video and it will explain what it's used for. It would eliminate a lot of this drama. Your next reason is your reels of thread. Your cotton reels, if you have a good look at them, you will see that some have got little serrated edge here, and that is going to cause a problem if you put your reel onto the machine like that. So if you put it horizontally, the thread is going to catch on here. Other reels may look as smooth as, I don't know, butter, but you will see, if you feel along the edge, you will see where the reel is joined, where the little mold joined. You get an uneven edge, and when the thread feeds off it, it catches. And worse, when you have old reels of thread and they've got a nick cut in them for the thread to be stored, so it doesn't all unwind. That little cutout piece, it's like having a chipped nail. It catches, the thread catches on that reel. So if you put it onto your machine like that, you're going to find the thread coming off is going to catch at that same spot all the time and bend your needle, which is going to break your needle. So when you put thread on your machine, you must just pay attention to what the reel feels like. Now the machine suppliers, I'm just going to move this to the light, give you these different thread stoppers. And they're there because they're nice and smooth, and they will smooth out that edge. But it's all well and good. Sometimes it's just better to put the reel onto the machine vertically. And you'll have a spool pin that's vertical in your box. And then you would just put that onto your machine and put the reel that way rather than horizontally. It's just a better idea. And if you have a look at your reels, some of them are designed with that little rough edge, and then the manufacturers expect you to put that little rough edge onto the spool first, so that if the thread feeds off that way, it's going to be on a smooth edge. So just have a look at your cotton reels. You'll be surprised how rough the edges of them can be. Okay, so that, I'm sure we can solve your problem with that. The fifth reason is the wrong stitch for the foot you've chosen. So let me move away from all my stuff. If you have chosen maybe your zipper foot, which is that one, or your straight stitch foot, which is that one, so there's really a center hole for the needle to go through, and then you didn't change the setting on your sewing machine and you were set to do a zigzag or a decorative stitch, your needle is definitely going to hit the foot. It's got nowhere to go. It's going to hit the foot. So that's a prime reason for breaking a needle. So when you change the foot, just make a stitch by hand. Turn the flywheel, one full rotation, and just make sure that the needle goes through the hole that's there for it to go through before you put your foot down. So I hope you found this video useful and helpful, and it will eliminate you breaking needles because they're expensive. Now I'm going to show you how to get your broken bits of needle out of the machine. So the first thing you're going to do is get rid of your needle plate. This machine is very kind and has a little button that I can pop it off. Other machines will have little screws that you undo. No big deal, just undo them with your screwdriver provided with your machine. And once that's out, you're going to start looking for your bits of needle. And the most likely place for it to be is underneath here, under this. And the reason for that is that little black circle that you're looking at is a magnet. And your needle is going to automatically go there. You need to get it out of there. If you don't, it's going to destroy all of this inside, and that's an expensive exercise. If you cannot find that bit of needle, if you have looked and it's nowhere in the bobbin case area, and once it's gone further down, it's gone into the casing, underneath casing of the machine, that's a safe place for it to be. This is a very unsafe place for it to be. So if it has gone down inside there, just leave it. It's going to there's a lot of muck down there. You've got oil, you've got fluff. You don't want to turn the machine over and shake it because all that fluff is going to go into the electronics of the machine and all that. You don't want to do that. So you would just be very happy that this area is clean and it's safe. And then you can just put this bobbin case back in and your machine will be good to go. So don't worry about a little chip of needle that's gone into the bottom. And then you would just replace the needle plate. Put it back on and your machine's safe. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you haven't watched the video on the little black button, watch it. It will help you for the jamming in the beginning of your seams on heavier fabric, and I'll see you in the next video.